My dear 5th grade student, good morning to all. How are you, ma? I hope that you are doing very well. Okay, okay, ma. Please stay in your home, so be happy. Let us start to study social science online class. Okay, ma. Okay, last class we have learned this chapter India's material heritage. That is history's first lesson. The page number 81. Lesson number 11. The title of the lesson, India's Material Heritage. 2 pages over. Now we study the condition of this lesson, that is paintings. Okay. India's material heritage is of 6 main categories with numerous examples in each category. Isn't it? India's material heritage is of 6 main categories with numerous examples in each categories. Now we study that. We have learned archaeological remains, architectures, that is monuments, temples, forts, etc. Then sculpture, that is statues and carvings, paintings, cave art and other paintings. Now we study that India's material heritage under paintings. That is the cave paintings in Ajanta. What ma? The cave paintings at Ajanta. That is, the famous paintings were done over several centuries. First of all, we know history means past events. So, the famous paintings were done over about several centuries, starting from about 22 centuries ago. What is centuries? Centuries means 100 years. We study that past events, that is 22 centuries ago, before the 22 centuries. Okay. These artists used metal mirrors to reflect the outside light so that they could work in their dim cave. Cave means inside fully dark, dim only, not light. Okay, but how to did that painting? Great painting. That is, artists used metal mirrors to reflect the outside light so they could work in the dim caves. Okay. So with the help of these mirrors to reflect the outside light to inside the dim caves. So they did the paintings. So the paintings have become damaged, the figures are still clear and the colors bright. Okay, the paintings have become damaged even though the figures still clear and the colors also bright. Many paintings show scenes from Buddha's life or from Buddhist stories. Okay, these cave paintings at Ajanta, mostly this painting shows scenes from Buddha's life. Buddha's life or some Buddhist stories. Who is Buddhist? Buddhist means follower of Buddha. The follower of Buddha are called Buddhist. So this Ajanta, the painting show most of the Buddha's life. Gautama Buddha, Gautama Buddha was the founder of this religion, and the follower of Buddha are called Buddhist. So this painting shows Gautama Buddha's life or from Buddhist stories. they give us some idea about the life of the people of those times. Okay, so seeing these paintings, we understood that the lifestyle of people in those times, in past events. There are princes and rich people, but also beggars. These pictures saw not only princes, not only emperor, but there are princes and rich people, but also beggars, saints, peasants means saints, and other ordinary people also. Okay, this is the cave paintings at Ajanta. So it is very very important. These artists used metal mirrors to reflect the outside light, so they could work in the dim caves. How to work in the dim caves? There is no light, no power, no electricity at that time. Then how they did? They used metal mirrors to reflect the outside light, so that they could work in the dim caves. Okay, so many of these paintings shows this Gautama Buddha's lifestyle or the Buddhist stories. So, okay, from these paintings we know that the lifestyle of people in from that place. Okay, then next other paintings. This is first we studied that the cave paintings at Ajanta. The cave paintings at Ajanta. Now we study that other paintings. That is, we also have a heritage of paintings from different parts of the country. On materials like these palm leaves or paper, these paintings have religious themes, royal scenes, people's animals, etc. Many of them are fairly small, so are called miniature paintings. So, what is miniature paintings? The paintings are very very small. Many of them are fairly small, so are called miniature paintings. Okay, so they used palm leaves or paper. These paintings have religious themes. Okay, ma? So these India's material heritage, 6 main categories. So now we studied that cave paintings. Okay, cave paint art and other paintings also we study. Now we see that books, India's material heritage under books. Early Indian books called, early Indians also used the book. The books called manuscript. Manuscript were handwritten or perishable materials. Manuscript means they are written by their own hand. Okay, it is not published by press. Nothing, they not have. Paper is also not have. Very early time. So early Indian books are called manuscript, handwritten only, or used the perishable materials like cloth, palm leaves, or the bark of trees in areas like, now listen here. So manuscript means early Indians books called manuscript were handwritten or sometimes used the perishable. Perishable means easily destroyed materials like cloth, palm leaves, or the bark of the tree. What tree mainly used means birch tree. In the place of Kashmir, the palm does not grow. So the palm leaves or bark were made up of long strips. Okay, many such strips together formed a manuscript. So Manuscript used by handwritten by. Manuscript means a handwritten. From where written means that is a perishable materials. Perishable means easily to destroy. That is palm leaves or bark of some trees. But this areas of Kashmir there is no does not, these palm trees does not grow, so they used cloth. Okay, so these materials are very easy to destroy. This was protected between decorated wooden covers. So they used these manuscript. It is protected by, covered by wooden covers and then tied with string. What's the meaning of string? Means removing a covering. These all their thoughts are written by. Now at that time no paper, so they are not at all use the paper, so they written by palm leaves or bark of trees, and they are easily some of the strips easy to remove the covers. Okay, many manuscripts were illustrated with small paintings. These manuscripts are illustrated with the small paintings also. Very early manuscripts do not exist. Original books which were beginning to get damaged were copied, and then the old manuscripts were probably discarded. It's this manuscript used by these perishable materials, destroying materials, so it is easy to destroy. Paper came to India in the 11th century. Paper came to India. They invented the paper. They used the paper in the 11th century. So after, gradually books began to the written on paper. After books everything written on paper. So earliest paper they used manuscript or these bark of trees or palm leaves. They written and covered. Most of them are destroyed. Okay, then objects of daily use. So what are the objects of daily use in the material heritage of India? Last one, objects of daily use, that is utensils, musical instrument, clothes, etc. Utensils means that vessels. Now we used the advantage of kitchen vessels like that, but early period also they used to utensils, musical instruments, clothes, etc. Many objects of daily use like beautiful fabrics, that is sarees, shawls, bed covers. So the past period also they used saree, shawls and bed covers, musical instruments and utensils are preserved in several museums. The old people used water they used, that are kept in protected in several museums. These are mostly from about the 17th to 18th century onwards. We protected some of the past events, that is utensils, daily used objects are protected in some of the museum. That is mainly about the 17th to 18th century onwards. Okay. So we see the timeline means we know before Christian era and the Christian era. So before Christian era, we followed that Christian era. Before Christian era means at that time only these Ashoka's pillar, then Changi Stupa, Gandhara sculptures, Samnath Buddha, that is Christian era. Chola bronzes, then Taj Mahal, and famous monuments, this Meenakshi Amman temple, That's we. Then now this timeline is goes on. Okay. So these are the many examples of heritage of perishable material. Perishable material means some of them destroyed, but this earliest period is destroyed because it is made up of fabrics. But this old age, some of the monuments are still very good in condition. We should protect our monuments because it is wealth of our nation. Okay, ma'am? Now we see that patronage. What is patronage? Patronage means a support given by patron. A support given by patron. What support, ma'am? That is, these wealthy people who pay for buildings, monuments, sculptures, paintings or books are called patrons. These wealthy people who pay for buildings, monuments, sculpture, paintings or books are called patrons. In earlier times, patrons were kings, rich traders or merchants and rich monasteries where Buddhist holy people lived. Now listen here. Now we study that patronage. Patronage means what, ma? That spell that word P-A-T-R-O-N-A-G-E. This patronage means a support given by patron. Wealthy people who pay for buildings, monuments, sculpture, paintings or books are called patrons. The wealthy people give support, who pay for construct the buildings or preserve the building or protect the buildings. They pay money for development of this monuments, sculpture, paintings or books are called patron. Okay. Patron means in earlier times, patrons means who's that patron? That is king or rich people or traders or merchants and rich monasteries where Buddhist holy people lived. Much of our heritage has come to us because of their patronage. Okay, so our monuments are well protected by the patronage. Patronage means support to the building. Who is patron? Patrons are wealthy people who paid for monuments or works of art. Patron means, now listen here, patron, P-A-T-R-O-N. Patron means wealthy people. Wealthy means more property, no, more money. Okay, simply you think that is more wealthy, more money, more property have. That's a wealthy people. The wealthy people to pay for to protect the monuments. Okay, so patrons were wealthy people. So patron, who is patron? Patron means wealthy people. Okay, who paid for the monuments or work of art. They paid money for work of art. Okay. These patronage help to creative people like artists, architects. This patronage helped the creative people, that is architects, builders, sculptors and writers to earn a living. This patronage helped the people. Okay. Okay. Now do you understand, ma? What is patronage? Patronage means a support given by patron. First you understand that patronage means support given by patron. What is a patron? Who is a patron? Patrons were wealthy people who paid for monuments or works of art. Patron means wealthy people who paid for monuments of works of art. Be clear, ma? Then now we see that the beautiful sculptures on the torrents of sandy stupa have been done by very skilled sculpture. Now listen here, the beautiful, it is very one of the very important monuments in Ashoka period. So it is before BCE, before Christian era. At that time, these beautiful sculptures on the sandy stupa have been done by very skilled sculptors. So this past period also, how people develop their skills, shows their skills. That is, for example, Sanji Stupa. And would have cost of lot of money. They tell us that over 2000 years ago, many rich people were followers of Buddha. So this Sanji Stupa, that monuments show that before 2000 years ago, many rich people were followers of Buddha. So each monument shows or give us more ideas about the past events, past that people, ancient people. So this from the Sanji Stupa, we think that these skilled sculptors who built that Sanji Stupa, and also it built before 2000 years ago. So many rich people were followers of Buddha. So this what show means most of the peoples at that time, most of the peoples followers of Gautama Buddha. We usually says that Shah Jahan, another one important monument in India's very famous monument in Uttar Pradesh, that is Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal. It is a very wonderful monuments in India. However, he only paid for it. This Taj Mahal built by Shah Jahan, he only paid money to build it. Can you understand more? So this Taj Mahal built by Shah Jahan, he only paid this money to build it. It was built by the skill and knowledge of creative people like architects, masons, builders and other craftspeople. The Taj Mahal tells us what skill people had when it was built. So this Taj Mahal tells us this what skill people had when it was built. So we can very much surface that how much the people in what when it was built. It also tells us what skill they used, we don't know what skill they used to build it, because it is very famous, wonderful monuments. This Shah Jahan only paid for this built of Taj Mahal, but we realize now, surface now, what skill they used to develop this Taj Mahal. Oh, it was very wonderful. So the past events also, how much this architecture, sculpture they used. Shah Jahan could give a beautiful building made in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, because he was a very wealthy ruler. Then looking after our heritage, so these wonderful monuments we should protect and preserve it, because it is our wealth of our country. These all the monuments, India's material heritage or architecture, sculpture, paintings, books and daily use, everything, 6 categories. It is India's material heritage is of 6 main categories with numerous examples in each categories. we should protect us and preserve us. Because it is our heritage, it is our belongings, India's belongings. We should protect us. India has long tradition of producing beautiful things. In some places, visitors and tourists scribble on the walls of the monuments or throw litter. Stones from monuments are taken away for construction work. But we need to take care of the heritage that belongs to everyone. This India's material heritage belongs to everyone. We should take care of the heritage. Various organizations work to look after this heritage. A government organization called Archaeological Survey of India. The main function of this Archaeological Survey of India to protect all that old events, monuments, sculpture, architecture, utensils. Okay, that is, these are belonging. We should protect us. Okay, ma? So, material heritage is of 6 main categories with numerous examples in each category. So, all Indians, our duty is we must look after this heritage because it is our belongings. Okay, so these all the monuments, sculpture shows that old people's, ancient people's skill, knowledge, and the knowledge of architecture, everything. So we should take care of our material heritage. Okay, ma? So today this lesson completed. I will give book exercise and remaining questions. You read the lesson thoroughly and study the answers. Copy it correctly, ma. Okay. So, okay, any doubt means you call me. Okay, fine, ma. Okay, thank you.